back. I'm sorry if the camera's a little blurry, but it shouldn't be, hopefully. Actually I gotta turn my, wow, that should be fine. As you can see, there's an engine in here. Seems to run, and while I got it running, needed a coil. This coil ain't in the greatest shape, but it seems to be working. Don't mind all the oil, that's from, I overfilled the oil and it came out of the breather. Don't mind that either. There's nothing to see there. But choke. I had to put a return spring on there because it wasn't returning by itself. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Kind of bit. I just put a return spring on there. Throttle setup is set up way better now. As you can see, works actually. Held on by with a little zip tie down there. Actually, I do got to take this car off one more time, so I'm gonna have to get another zip tie, which I don't have anymore. Kill is hooked up. Push button works. I'm not gonna show you running because it's kind of like a pain to get it running at the moment because this carb leaks like crazy and fuel pump's not on it and a bunch of other things. So for now, I'm probably gonna run this carburetor because I don't have money. So I gotta put some sealant on it, which actually I just got RTV for the snow machine that I have, the jig, RTV or whatever the hell it's called. Which that's for heat, but it should be fine with gas too. Light bar hooked up. My cousin actually, he got all pissed. He always gets mad at me when I don't hook up my kill wire, my charging wire, because I never do. So he hooked up my charging wire for me. I gotta zip tie it up actually, but right now it's kind of just in the state of I just got this thing running today because we couldn't get it running at my cousin's because this stupid carburetor, the gasket was flipped around or it was the wrong one and it wasn't letting gas get through the one hole because the gasket has a little hole in it and it was on the wrong side. So yeah, we took this carburetor apart, cleaned it, took the fuel pump out because we thought the fuel pump was bad or something. We did everything, couldn't get it running. It's just that stupid gasket. But actually, we couldn't really do anything because the coil went out on it. The coil's actually right here. I don't know what went bad on it. I even fiddled around with it because I seen this red wire was broken and it seemed to have to go to here, so I put this little thing on it. Got that there good. Cleaned up the bolt, I think, a little bit. Messed around with everything, couldn't get the coil working. As you can see, that started happening with this coil, but actually, this coil's the same way. This is off my other Oppie I have. It's actually out back, but I have a cover for this right here. Might not be, I don't know the horsepower of this engine. I'm assuming it's the same, but I do have a cover for it. I gotta get nuts and bolts and throw that on at some point. I just want to get this thing running tip-top shape. Actually, have an air box for it too, and an air filter that may not be clean, but it'll work. So hopefully this stays good. Yeah, hopefully this engine stays running good. Came with a bunch of water in the oil. I've changed it. This is the second oil change I've done on it. It's pretty clean right now. Actually no, this is the third oil change that I did on it. Because when I got it, I couldn't even pull the dipstick out because it was full of water. So yeah, but yeah, it does run, does drive. I drove it around a little bit. But yeah, I gotta clean up this from all, I gotta clean up all the oil, which I actually won't clean up, knowing me. I'll just sort of cover over it, which is whatever, I don't really care. The lawnmower, and my hood's covered, which that's always covered in oil. I haven't finished my back rack yet. Got a toe strap on there I got for Christmas from my cousin. Do not have my back rack on yet. I've just been too lazy to finish it. Batteries got charged. Battery cover already. I'm not good with these covers. I always break them. Ended up breaking this thing off in here too, but I don't really care, like at all really. It still works. 12.3 volts right now. And actually, this thing started working magically. As you can see, it's bright right now, blue. And you shut it off and nothing. So that seems to be working. The light's coming on. But I did see the belt does not seem to be popping off right now. I drove it around and I pushed clutch in quite a few times. The belt didn't pop off, so hopefully that's good to go. But I'm psyched about this throttle because I couldn't figure it out what I could do for it. Well, at my cousin, I didn't have much stuff to work with, so I literally had a bungee cord and just a really heavy duty spring go into it. It's actually my cousin's bungee cord. He probably won't want it back. Yeah, I just had a bungee cord and a heavy duty spring, and it wasn't really working good. All it was doing was, it wouldn't return, it would just hold it in its place, so yeah, it wouldn't really do anything. It was good enough for I could ride it. I actually did ride it. It would return very slowly, but now it seems to be doing good. I started up with this, works good, seems to, you know. But yeah, hopefully this coil stays good, because this coil's in pretty rough shape. It's been sitting outside half of its life probably. Like I said, so push button working, choke's working. But yeah, I think that's about it. Ooh, that's pretty. That's pretty. I'm gonna fix that. But yeah, I think that's about it. This thing's technically running and driving. It's not perfect, but it is running and driving. So yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, peace.